Hello everyone, this is RaimoGames. I'm just going to be talking about some things that you might know, might not know about tourneys. Uh, so, one of the big lessons I learned early is don't use your crack team, your best 5 people on the first fight. Test the waters. Like, stick your toe in with like one good unit. Hell, you can even try it with like your second line or a mixture between your second and third line. What you don't want to do is what I did in the first like tourney or two, where I put my best units forward on the first fight and I absolutely demolished them in such a short period of time. And then the next fights coming up, they were actually a bit harder. So that was a lot harder for me. And if I had one of my best units, even like one or two, I could have beaten them and kind of spread out my wins and helped my alliance out so much more. And actually, that brings up an interesting thought in my head that when you're placing your towers, you could actually put your strongest people towards the end, so people who make that mistake early really struggle towards the end. Of course, you have a whole alliance, people smash their heads against the tower, but it's something minor. But if people are interested in like min-maxing their towers or whatnot, they can use that. Oh yeah, so definitely limp into these battles. Like even here, I used only 3 of my top units, and I wiped these guys out. So I really shouldn't have done that. I think even Usha alone probably could have just beat these guys, and she's not in my top 5. So yeah, definitely test waters your toes. Don't use your best units, all of them in the first fight. Nothing's gonna happen if you fail. Like I don't even think you'll lose an attempt. So just go in, test the waters. Who knows? Maybe you'll come out with a win with a bunch of units you didn't think would win, and then you can save them for later when you're up against a much harder opponent. So yeah, that is something that I wish I knew earlier. Another thing about these fights is that those buffs that you can buy from the shop, like when you're fighting, you get these coins. Especially if you're attacking those 2 fights on the side, you can get some coins for your alliance leader to spend. Those coins are not alliance wide. I thought they were, and I went to go spend them, and they're like, who would you like? I thought he was going to buff everyone's fire units by 10%, their attack, defense, etc. And then they're like, who specifically would you like to buff for this? I was like, for 500 coins, I can only buff one guy, and only for 10%? I was like, oh my god, this is... But I get it. Like, if you can buff your whole alliance for that amount, that might be a bit much. And having only one person be buffed, you could really help crack that final tower, like that one last time that you need. So, in retrospect, I guess I do kind of like it. I don't think I would prefer it affect everyone in your alliance. The first day is just the 2 towers and the 2 soldiers on the side. If you can't beat the towers, definitely attack those units on the side. Be very communicative with your alliance leader. If you're so close to defeating a tower that hasn't been beaten yet, communicate that so that your alliance leader can buff you so that you can get that clear. It's super important to get both those towers down, to get as max rewards as possible, and then get that final 3 eyes castle and whatnot to get that down as well. What else? Definitely make sure that your alliance leader is active and your battle commander is active. We ran into a problem here where our battle commander quit the game right before a tournament, and once the tournament starts, your alliance leader, not only can he not change the battle commander, he can't actually input commands or purchase anything for the alliance. Only the battle commander can. So we ran into an issue where I was the only person who was able to defeat the final castle, and I defeated them enough that I just needed to defeat them once more, but my last lineup wasn't capable of beating it without buffs. So, and we had a ton of coins, and I was like, just buff me up and we should be okay. And he couldn't. And that was a problem. So make sure that both are active, and if the battle commander for any reason has to step out or, you know, go on vacation or has to go for work purposes or whatnot, that's swapped over to somebody who can actually fulfill those duties. This tournament is spread across 2 days. Use all your units on the first day. They will be re-available to you on the second day. So yeah, just use everybody and make sure you get all your attempts in. I don't see you being able to use all 10 attempts unless you're a whale. But that's okay. Just do your best. There's lots of people in the lines. Everyone will step forward, or they should, and everyone will do their best. On the second day, 2 more units will they'll be called lighter towers. Everyone who wasn't placed in the main towers will be placed in those lighter towers, and you can kind of run through them to get more coins. And then you're left with the Eternal 3 Ears. That's the main castle. And the thing you need to understand about that is that gives 500 reward for the challenge points, but that's your priority. And each tournament there'll be like a different buff. This week it is increased attack, enlightenment, defense, max HP of all necrosis element and elemental heroes for both sides. That's weird. That should be poison because it said poison at the start. That's really interesting. That might be a typo. Might be a bug in the game. I'll have to report that. But there will be an elemental buff. So if you have multiple strongest people in your alliance, just pick the one that fits, has the most units that fit with the buff for that week, and they should do a really good job at that defense. And as we know, the more defenses you have, the less towers you lose, the more rewards you get at the end. Unfortunately, the less rewards your opponent gets, but you know, such as PvP or, you know, alliance versus alliance, you're trying to beat them, right? So you want as much rewards as possible first, and you worry about them. Don't worry about them. That's their job, is to worry about them. You don't need to worry about them. Let me know if I missed anything of note. I don't think I did. That should be it, and I will see everybody next time. Thank you.